this is Chris the Nightmare Ariola, and you're watching Mission Boxing Today on YouTube.
All right, I'm gonna definitely pick Mike Tyson in this one. I know it's a past dated Mike Tyson, but to me, we're in a situation where we're putting somebody that's, as far as their frame and height, pretty much the same in height, but frame, Mike Tyson is way bigger than Roy Jones Jr. I know being bigger doesn't win you the fight necessarily, but when Tyson's in there with somebody that he's going to be 20, 30 pounds heavier than, I just see a mismatch written all over that, even for somebody as great as Roy Jones. I know Roy looked great against Ruiz. Ruiz had his moments on the inside to try to rough Roy up. He landed some good body shots on Roy, and Roy was taking him well, but Roy was just putting up the guard, laying against the ropes, letting him get off, and then moving and circling. Mike will pick his shots way better than that. He's more, his punches are way more precise than that, and he will land and connect on Roy. I don't think Roy will just lick his chops and keep it moving. I think he will get hurt, and it will show effects. I know that a guy like Francois Botha was able to pot shot Mike and stick his tongue out and, you know, make faces at Mike and frustrate him. And I think Roy can do those same types of things because that's his style. But I think once Tyson started tagging him, man, I think it'll take effect, and I think Tyson will knock him out.
Well, all right, that was a strong argument. I'll give you that. But this is how I see this fight going. I mean, that France Botha fight, that was a cokehead Mike Tyson. Didn't that become a non-contest or something?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, Mike Tyson, like you said, is a loose cannon. You don't know what you're going to get.
No. Mike, no, that wasn't a non-contest. That was the Norris and Andrew Galata, all them fights.
Oh, okay.
That fight against Botha was a clean right hand, short right hand. That right hand
I saw the fight, but I'm just saying, like, did that turn into a non-contest? Because Mike was on them drugs around that time, man. Like, I mean, he was even on them drugs against Frank Bruno, and he said he wasn't really in fighting shape. And he said just to go 5 rounds against Bruno should have really beaten him. But, you know, that's the type of level he was fighting. Tyson said this in his book. But despite all that, man, around that time, you were going against a supreme confident, elite level reflex Roy Jones Jr. He had the speed, he had the awkward style, he had different dimensions, he had the counter punching, the catch counters. I mean, he was the real Matrix before people call Lomachenko the Matrix. And this Roy Jones Jr., okay, he looked a little slower compared to smaller divisions and all that stuff. And I get that Andy Ruiz was more of a stationary target, but Mike Tyson would have been a true force of bull. And plus, smaller guy against smaller guy. But I like Roy chances due to the speed, the reflexes, him turning Mike around, resetting Mike, and just pot shotting him and set up shots Mike don't see coming, where Mike would get a bit timid in activity. Now, yes, Roy would get hit with a few shots, but I see Roy slipping through some of them punches to throw some shots to get Mike's respect and reset the distance. Roy could possibly get knocked down in this fight, don't get me wrong, but I just see Roy getting the decision out of this. I think Roy could find a way to survive. I think the later rounds Mike will start going a little bit full force and start hurting Roy a little bit, but Roy will be hugging Mike, holding on, and Mike, well, he had that stamina to keep going. And I just see Roy dictating the distance with his jab, because Mike's jab wasn't consistent around that time no more. And Mike's he was more of a Russian fighter than a patient fighter around that time. Now, if you give me 88 Tyson, he'll easily destroy Roy Jones Jr. And I get what you're saying about a smaller heavyweight against Tyson, no chance. But I think Roy Jones Jr. was such a special fighter that I think the more Tyson keep missing, the more tired he's going to get. Then the more Roy frustrates him and tags him from different angles, I just think that will steal some rounds in the ring psychology in this fight will make people think that Roy is doing more than what he's doing. I think this would be like Hagler versus Leonard. Close fight, but Roy would get the benefit of the doubt in the decision due to his ring psychology. And that's how I see it.
All right, two things. You say that Roy would be able to wrap him up on the inside. I don't see Roy being strong enough to wrap Tyson up like that and walk him like that. I see Tyson being way stronger than him in the trenches. I think it's even comical to even, I don't know, man. I just don't see Roy wrapping up Mike and walking him backwards. Vander was able to do it. Stronger, bigger guys was able to do it.
I'm not talking about in that type of way. I'm talking about like turn him around, check him with a hook, turn him around, clinch him after he landed a shot, and then get it reset and get his distance back against Mike, so Mike can't time him or get some rhythm going. I think Roy would just try to smother his offense or take away his rhythm. But Mike, he's explosive at times, but at that time he was just a fighter in spurts. Like he's explosive, then he'll get kind of a little winded. I just think Roy could take advantage of that, especially Roy jabs to the body and stuff like that, and just turn him around a lot. I think that would just confuse Mike, and Mike would not be really into this fight like he should. And I just think when Mike finally sets up some stuff, we'll be like, man, where was this early on? And I think Roy will tire down a little bit, and I think Roy will eventually survive the fight, but I just think that it'll be like Hagler versus Leonard. And I just think Mike will leave some stuff in that ring that he should have been, he would have left some stuff that he should have left in that ring, and he just didn't implement it. I just think Mike Tyson will lose this fight because of Mike Tyson more so than Roy Jones, just that much better than him. I just don't believe in a mentally fragile Mike Tyson going against that version of Roy Jones Jr. And that's my argument.
I just don't, that could happen, but I just don't think Mike would. I think Mike will be supremely confident in the fight with Roy Jones Jr., knowing that he's the bigger guy, knowing that he has knockout, that can knock anybody out. Now, think, he had confidence in knockout power trying to knock out 6'5", 250-pound dudes. Now you put him in there with somebody that's 5'11", 198 pounds. He's going to be supremely confident, even against Roy Jones. Remember, Roy Jones, great. He's great at other weight classes below heavyweight. But he is a great fighter, though.
I mean, at the end, like, could I see Tyson beating Roy? Yes. But do I see Roy beating Tyson, that version of Tyson? Yes, too. So I'm going to go with my fanboy back in the day. I'm just going to say Roy got this. And you can go with your fanboy and say Tyson got this and be realistic at the same time. And in a way, we're both being realistic. I just don't believe Mike Tyson on drugs could beat Roy Jones. Because to be quite honest, no, Tyson's not as stationary as Ruiz was. But at the same time, Tyson didn't have that head movement no more like he used to when he was younger.
That's true.
I mean, if you tell me Tyson had that same head movement like he was trained with Rooney and stuff, then I'll be like, oh, Roy ain't got no chance in hell in this fight. But that's what I'm counting on. Tyson not having that head movement. Now, if you talking about this is going to be a matchup of brutal strength against a smaller guy, then I just think Roy has that ring IQ where he could generate Mike's strengths and turn to weakness and smother his offense and reset the distance. And whenever Mike try to come in, he'll beat Mike to the punch and go to Mike's body to take away some of his the muster, his shots and stuff. Now, if you talking about clinches and physicality, stuff like that, then yeah, Tyson's gonna dominate those angles. But if you talking about on the outside, Roy's gonna make Tyson look bad. But that's my opinion.
Do you think Mike could be intimidated by his hand speed? Because I watched Roy against Ruiz, man, and Roy, he's good at single pot shots. Like he was pot shotting the fuck out of Ruiz. Even when he was coming in, he was pot shotting him with left hooks and right hands. It's just hard for me to just think that Mike would just be intimidated by one pot shot from a 198-pound guy. it's just hard to visualize that. It's one thing when it's Lennox doing it, but it's another thing when it's a smaller guy doing it. And I know quickness is power too. You know, you got power in your quickness, but I still see Mike. I see Mike pushing Roy back, man, to get him against the ropes at some point in that fight and doing damage.
I mean, at the end, that's just a what if, would have, could have fight. But
yeah.
I mean, I would love to seen it. And I wish we had YouTube back then. Me and you would have interacted about this, and we would have put a bet up. And the best man, because you were probably living in Chicago or something around that time, the bad man would have to take the other man to lunch or dinner or whatever. Well, lunch I prefer. But anyways, the point is, that would have been some fun trash talking. But yeah, man, I enjoyed this conversation. Well, who you guys think would have won this fight? Roy Jones Jr. or Mike Tyson? I'm talking about 2002, 2003 Mike Tyson, and I'm talking about 2002, 2003 Roy Jones Jr. Did Roy still have his legs? Was his reflexes still that sharp? Or was Roy, were his more telling signs that Roy was slowing down where Mike still could have beaten him? Or was Mike Tyson even Mike Tyson to you anymore?
Yeah, he definitely wasn't. He definitely wasn't the Mike Tyson. Definitely not that.
So to let y'all know, I'm not saying even the best Roy Jones Jr. could have beaten the best Mike Tyson. That would be asinine coming to my point. But if you're talking about cokehead giving up on the sport of boxing, Mike Tyson against Roy after getting that brutal knockout from Lennox, you know, just collecting a paycheck, Mike Tyson, to pay back Don King, then yeah, give me Roy in this fight. But that's subjective. Comment below. Tell me what you guys think. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to Mr. Boxing Today too if you already haven't. But this is DillTown. Till next time, we out.